together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in. Stacking up green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle, joined here as always by my brother Tim. If it would click in for you. There we go. It
was clicked in about 20 seconds ago.
I hate my computer. I really need a new one, but that's beyond the point. We have our final of the 6 MLB future shows, and we're talking the National League East today. We have the Phillies, then the Braves, then the Mets, and then the Nationals, and then the Marlins to talk about here to wrap up the MLB preview shows. I guess not too much to get into because obviously there's no recaps or anything like that because this is a future show. So do we want to just get right into it? Anything you want to say before we get started?
I have some bold takes for one of these teams,
Uh-huh.
and we get to start off with them.
Oh, okay. We have the Philadelphia Phillies. They are 11-1 to win the World Series. They're plus 650 to win the National League. They're plus 205 to win the division. They're minus 300 to make the playoffs, plus 200 to miss the playoffs, with a win total 90.5. They won the division last year. I need to get up last year's standings because I am just all over the place right now. But they did win they won the division last year, and then they got bounced in the National League Division Series after getting a first-round bye. They lost in 4 games to the New York Mets. Let's take a look at their off-season additions and subtractions here, where a bunch of minor league deals, it looks like. Christian Arroyo, Oscar Mercado, Koyo, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. Nick Vespi, they signed Joe Ross to a 1-year deal. Max Kepler to a 1-year deal. Jordan Romano to a 1-year deal. And then for subtractions on the free agent market, Austin Hayes was non-tenured. Luis F. Ortiz was outrighted to the minors. So was Colby Allard. So is Rodolfo Castro. So is Freddie Tarnok. And then Spencer Turnbull became a free agent. So did Carlos Estevez. So did Jeff Hoffman. As for club options, nothing. No club options there. As for trades, they acquired Dylan Campbell from the Dodgers for international bonus space money. They acquired Eric Combs from the White Sox in exchange for Tyler Gilberts. They acquired Jesus Luzardo and Paul McIntosh in a deal that they sent over Emerson Boyd and Sterling Caba, one of their top prospects in their farm system. They also traded Scott Kingery to the Angels for cash. Taking a look at what this team looks like, their starting lineup looks like Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, Alec Boehm, Max Kepler, JT Realmuto, Nick Castellanos, Bryson Stott, and Brandon Marsh. Their bench looks like Rafael Marchand, Edmundo Sosa, Cody Clemens, Johan Rojas. Their rotation is where they are going to stand out. Zach Wheeler, Jesus Luzardo, Aaron Nola, Christopher Sanchez, Taijuan Walker. With, I believe, Ranger Suarez is starting on the injured list. Their bullpen, Carlos Hernandez, Joe Ross, Tanner Banks, Jose Ruiz, Matt Strom, Jose Alvarado, Orion Kirkland, and Jordan Romano. Looking at this team, I mean, losing in the bullpen, replacing Jeff Hoffman with Jordan Romano, I think is a downgrade. Mm-hmm. Losing Estevez as well hurts that bullpen. Even though they did go out and who did they get? I'm trying to remember who they got. Joe Ross for their bullpen. They didn't really get anybody big to replace them, but we all know Dombrowski is going to be somebody who'll go out there and trade at the deadline in order to do so. Taking a look at talking about potential trading at the deadline, let's take a look at what the Phillies have in their farm system, which include arguably the best pitching prospect in baseball, number 8 overall, Andrew Painter. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to pitch for the last 2 years due to Tommy John surgery, but he came back in the fall of 2024, pitched in the Arizona Fall League, did okay, and he then pitched in spring training. Aiden Miller is expected up next year. He's in Double-A as shortstop, number 27th overall. Also due up in 2026 is Justin Crawford, an outfielder, number 63 overall, and Eduardo Tate is in Single-A right now. He's a catcher, number 92 overall. He's due up in 2028, though, just in Single-A. The Phillies feel like a team that are beginning to be a little bit past their prime. The window's starting to close on this team. However, that rotation might be the best in baseball. And that's saying something where when Ranger Suarez comes into that rotation and it's Wheeler, Luzardo, Nola, Sanchez, Ranger, not to mention they might have the best six starter in baseball, and that hasn't even thrown a pitch in the major leagues in Andrew Painter. That's where the Phillies are going to have success, is in their starting rotation. I think they take a step back offensively this year. I don't think Nick Castellanos is an everyday player anymore. I think he should be a platoon type of guy that faces lefties only. Bryson Stott, I'm not a huge fan of Bryson Stott. I mean, obviously, neither are the Phillies. They tried to trade him the entire offseason, and nobody wanted him.
Nope.
I don't mind the Max Kepler move. I think he can have a decent. He can be decent in Philly there. I mean, at the top of the lineup, yeah, Harper and Schwarber, still going to be good. I think Trey Turner is a slight bit overrated at this point. I think he's a fringe top 10 shortstop now instead of being a top 3 shortstop like he has in years past. I don't know what to do with this Phillies team. I think they finished 3rd in the division. I think the Mets are better. I think the Braves are better than the Phillies. Mm-hmm. The only thing that they have over those two teams are the rotation. But I think the lineups for both the Braves and the Mets do circles around what the Phillies have here. 90.5 seems like a lot of wins. I would lean under with them in that spot. At under 90.5, that would be my lean for them here. If you want a player future, maybe this is the year Zach Wheeler finally breaks through and wins the Cy Young Award.
Could.
Because he's been somebody who's been so damn consistent since getting to Philadelphia.
I like somebody else in the division to win the Cy Young.
I have no idea who that could be.
Cool.
Maybe it's somebody from the next team we'll talk about. Braves?
No comment.
Okay. We won't talk about Spencer Schwellenbach then.
Damn it, screw you.
But yeah, for me, if I'm betting this team, it's under or nothing.
What happens if I told you I have a crazy take and I actually beat line movement on it? I got under 91.5 wins, and I got them to miss the playoffs at plus 220. Now it's sitting at 90.5 and 2-1 for them to miss. I have beaten line movements on it. And when I know this is going to sound crazy because we're going to end up mentioning another one of the teams that I think is going to overdo them. My playoff teams that I got are the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, the Cubs, the Braves, the Mets, and the Nationals. I think the Phillies missed the playoffs altogether. I know it's a bold take, but their starting pitching is great. Ask the Mariners what happens when you don't hit and you have really good starting pitching.
Pause. You're not comparing the Phillies lineup with the Mariners lineup, are you? I'm taking the step down. I'm not saying they're going to be bad, though.
I don't think they're going to be good.
I think they'll be above league average.
All right, I look at it.
You still have Harper in that lineup.
Okay, hold on, stop. Harper and Schwarber, I'm not worried about. It's everybody else in that lineup that has question marks. JT Realmuto, how many games is he going to play?
I think Realmuto is.
I think he. I don't.
Washed.
I think he's going to be. I don't think he's an everyday starter on most teams. I don't like Bryson Stott. I think Alec Boehm is overrated. Max Kepler is trying to revive his career in Philly after barely being able to get onto the Twins roster after a while. Marsh is not an everyday player. And Castellanos is overvalued for his contract. Like, he is negative value for his contract. This is not a team I'm overly impressed with. And in a very, very deep National League, I can see the Phillies missing outright. And I know that's not popular. But I just gave out my 6 teams I think are going to make the playoffs. The Phillies are on the outside looking in.
I mean, plus 200. That's a nice stab, and the plus 200 price tag is saying that it's not impossible. Like, we'll be talking about the Braves next, who have a minus 430 price tag to make the playoffs. So it's not like it's impossible.
Yeah, Phillies miss altogether. Hey, bro, what is your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers? Will he retire from the NFL?
No, he'll be the next Steelers quarterback.
Can I be honest with it? I don't give a fuck where he goes. Like, he is not good enough for us to care about where he plays next.
I still want him to play for the Vikings.
It's not going to happen. But he is not good enough for us to want to really care about him anymore. If this was 5-6 years ago, yes, you're worrying about where Aaron Rodgers is going. In 2025, no one should give a shit where he goes. Real deal, what's up? Can Washington win? I can't wait to talk about the Washington Nationals.
Me too. So I'm going to shoot it down. But that's beyond the point.
Fuck you.
Let's talk the Atlanta Braves.
Let's do it.
They are plus 850 to win the World Series. They're 5-1 to win the National League. They're plus 110 to win the East. They're plus 430 to miss or minus 430 to make the playoffs. They're plus 290 to miss the playoffs. This is a team that had a down year last year and finished second in the National League with 89 wins. And that was with all of the injuries that they sustained and with a few players having down years. And they still won 89 games, made the playoffs. Let me get up their additions and subtractions list, which isn't really that big. A lot of minor league deals, including Craig Kimbrell, James McCann, Hector Neris. They signed Alex Verdugo to a 1-year deal, Buck Farmer to a minor league deal, Jake Marisnick still is playing Major League Baseball on a minor league deal, Jake Diekman on a minor league deal, Chad Kuhl on a minor league deal. They signed Jurickson Profar, Garrett Cooper on a minor league deal, Jordan Wims, Brian De La Cruz, Angel De Los Santos, Eddie Alvarez, Jose Devers, Carlos D. Rodriguez, Charles LeBlanc, all on a bunch of minor league deals. For subtractions, they non-tender Griffin Canning, and then they traded him. We'll talk about him in a minute, or with him in the next team. Ramon Laureano was non-tenured. Huescar Yanoa was non-tenured. And then becoming free agents, Jesse Chavez, which I believe they signed him to a minor league deal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Charlie Morton became a free agent. Gio Urshela, Whit Merrifield, Adam Duvall, John Brebbia, Max Fried, AJ Minter, Calvin Biggio. Biggio was outright to the minors in elected free agency. He wasn't a free agent. Ronaldo Lopez agreed to a 3-year extension. Travis d'Arnaud was declined. The club declined his option. They exercised the club option on Marcell Ozuna, and the club option was declined on Luke Jackson. Trades, they acquired Jose Suarez from the Angels recently. That was 3 days ago from the Angels for Ian Anderson. They acquired Davis Daniel from the LA Angels for starting pitcher Mitch Ferris. They traded away Angel Perdomo to the Angels for cash and a player to be named later. They acquired Nick Allen from the Athletics for relief pitcher Jared Johnson, and they traded away Jorge Soler to the Angels in that trade for Griffin Canning, and they immediately DFA'd Griffin Canning. So it was a salary dump with Jorge Soler there for them there. Taking a look at the potential starting lineup for the Braves. I need to get that up here on Fangraphs. Give me just a second. When that's loading, we'll talk about their prospects real quick. With their top prospect, number 62 overall in baseball, starting as their starting catcher to start the year, Drake Baldwin. Very high on Drake Baldwin. I think he can be a pretty solid, at the very least, defensive catcher, and he can hit a little bit too. And then they had arguably one of the steals in the MLB draft, prep arm, Cam Caminetti, who is starting the year in single A. He's the number 88 overall prospect, 18 years old. They expect him up around the 2028 time frame there. They're starting the lineup looks like Jerkson Profar, Austin Riley, Matt Olson, Marcell Ozuna, Michael Harris II, Ozzie Albies, Drake Baldwin, Jared Kelenic, and Orlando Arcia. Their bench looks like Chadwick Trump, Nick Allen, Brian De La Cruz, and Eli White. Their rotation, Chris Sale, Ronaldo Lopez, Spencer Schwellenbach, AJ Smith-Shawver, and Grant Holmes. Their bullpen, Jose Suarez, Angel De Los Santos, Daysbel Hernandez, Hector Neris, Dylan Lee, Aaron Bummer, Pierce Johnson, Raisel Iglesias. They will be starting with Sean Murphy on the injured list. Nacho Alvarez is on the injured list. Ronald Acuna will be back in, I believe they said May sometime. And then Spencer Strider should be back around May as well. So they'll be without them for a few weeks heading into the season here. When I made my preseason power rankings before we did any of the shows, I had the Braves at number 2.
Yeah.
The more and more I'm starting to think about it, I don't know how. I think the Braves probably win the division, and yes. I'll probably bet that at plus 111 or plus 110. My bet. The 93.5 wins. I mean, I feel like they can win the division with 92, 93 wins. I could see the Mets finishing with 90 wins, and I could see the Phillies finishing with 88, and the Braves win the division with 92, 93. So I'm kind of looking towards the Braves to win the division. In this one here. My ultimate question, though, and this is a very boom-bust team in the Atlanta Braves, because, yes, I know a lot of people are expecting this team, they just had a bad year last year. It's going to bounce back. Okay, I got a few questions. Mm-hmm. What is Spencer Strider going to look like when he comes back? What is Ronald Acuna going to look like when he comes back? Because the year after he came back from his first ACL tear, he was average. He was, I think, a 115 WRC plus. He was slightly above average, but he wasn't MVP level Acuna. What's Michael Harris going to look like coming back from the injury that he had last year?
Yeah.
Same thing with Ozzie Albies. When Sean Murphy comes back, what is he going to look like? Chris Sale had a little hiccup at the end of the year with health. What is he going to look like? Reynaldo Lopez is coming off of, I believe, a career high in innings pitched. What is he going to look like? This is a bit like, and then you look at this rotation. They lost two of arguably their most reliable pitchers for innings-wise over the last few years. And that is Max Fried.
Yep.
And Charlie Morton. I know Charlie Morton was not the greatest of all pitchers.
He wasn't.
But he was consistent.
He got you innings. That's what you needed.
He was somebody who just ate up innings for you. He was a solid 5. I think they're going to miss him a little bit this year, even though, Grant Holmes can easily replace him. The Braves win this division. I don't really see the Braves having a bad year back-to-back years and a bad year being 89 wins. I think they win 92, 93 games. They take the NL East, and we'll see what they do in the playoffs. So I'll probably end up on the Braves to make the Braves to win the NL East. And that's about it. I don't know about their win total. As for player futures or anything like that, your guess is as good as mine. Maybe Marcell Ozuna does pretty well again this year, but he's a DH. I don't see him winning any awards. I don't know what else to do with this Braves team other than they win the National League East, and that's about it.
I got them over their win total. I got them winning the National League East. And they had a down year last year. They had a year of hell. Like, holy shit. They lost Strider for the year. They missed Murphy for most of the year. Acuna was gone for most of the year. Fried had stints on the IL. You had Matt Olson, who had a dog shit year. You had Riley, who had an awful year. You had Harris, who did not play well. Ozuna was the only guy keeping this team afloat last year, and they somehow still snuck into the playoffs. If they're going to have them back, Chris Sale, monitor his innings. He was just overworked last year. That's all it was. There wasn't really any. He was sore at the end of the year, and he missed the series against the Padres. Spencer Strider, I think he's going to be just fine when he gets back. And in May. So he'll even be even fresher come playoffs. And at the end of the year, you have Strider and you have Sale. Those aren't even going to be the best pitchers in this rotation. Spencer Schwellenbach is going to win the Cy Young Award. There you go. 30-1 on Schwellenbach to win Cy Young. I called I called Blake Snell 2 years ago. I think that was 33-1.
I had Alcantara.
Sorry, 66-1. 66-1 he was.
I think I had Alcantara the year before at 20-1.
I called that one. Spencer Strider has all of the workings in that.
Schwellenbach.
Yes, Schwellenbach, sorry. Has all the workings that he can win the Cy Young Award. And when it comes to it, the Braves are the best team in this division. And it's the Braves' division to lose. Until further notice. Because if the Braves were completely healthy last year, they win the division. Yeah, and I don't think it's particularly close.
Yes.
They are a far superior team than the Phillies.
Yes.
Far. Way better than the Phillies. Even injured, they're way better than the Phillies. And they're right. They are probably slightly ahead of the Mets. But the Mets and Braves is going to be a fun race.
Yes.
But Braves win.
Yeah, I agree on the Braves to win the division. I'll probably be betting at the end of the night.
Guess what tomorrow is? Thursday, just a normal Thursday.
Yep.
Ice X? No. What did I miss? Get to the Mets yet? I want to have a good laugh.
The Mets are next.
Mets are next. JYS, a normal. Yeah. Is not just a normal their opening day. One of the Earle dudes begged me to come in. I saw you comment, so I figured you would want to, join the stream. I wasn't begging you. I was just telling you, hey, we're live. And I figured you would want to hear about the National League East because your favorite teams are in it. And that's anybody who faces the Mets. What's up, Irish? Did someone here bet the Isles?
You obviously know the answer to that. I know you're just trying to get a rise out of me. You obviously know the answer to that.
Tim makes sense. Braves are the best team. They are the best team in the National League National League East if they stay healthy. Unfortunately for the Braves, they last year was hell. Oh, forgot to mention, Drake Baldwin for Rookie of the Year could be a very interesting look. Drake Baldwin is currently sitting at 22-1 to win the Rookie of the Year.
My only worry with Drake Baldwin to win the Rookie of the Year is Sean Murphy comes back and takes the starting role over again.
He could definitely, but I figure I can mention that. Brewers tomorrow. Yes, Milwaukee Brewers tomorrow, money line versus the Yankees.
I've already moved on 7 spots.
All right, here's here you go, 446.
Let's get into it here. It is the moment we've all been waiting for, right? It's the New York Mets. The New York Mets are 11-1 to win the World Series. They're plus 650 to win the National League. They're plus 210 to win the National League East. They're minus 260 to make the playoffs. They're plus 190 to miss the playoffs. Their win total is 90.5. Let's take a look at what they did. Last year, they finished third in the National League East. They got the last wild card spot. They knocked off the Brewers in 3 games. They knocked off the Phillies in 5 games before falling to the Dodgers in 6.
They knocked off the Phillies in 4 games.
4 games. Yep. It was a best-of-5 series. They knocked them off in 4 games. My bad. Taking a look at their offseason moves. This is going from most recent to whatever. They agreed to a minor league deal with Jose Urena. 1-year deal with Nick Madrigal, who's already out for the year.
Yeah.
2-year deal with AJ Minter. Adbert Alzolay to a minor league deal, kind of a rehab type of contract because he's not going to be pitching much. They re-signed Sean Manaea. They re-signed Jesse Winker. They re-signed Ryan Stanek. Also, they re-signed Drew Smith. They acquired Brandon Waddle as a minor league deal, along with Anthony Gose, Luis F. Ortiz, Chris Williams. They signed Griffin Canning to a 1-year contract. They signed Jared Young to a 1-year contract. They signed Oliver Ortega to a minor league deal. They signed Juan Soto to a 15-year contract. They signed Clay Holmes to a 3-year deal. to transition him to be from a reliever to a starter. Frankie Montas to a 2-year contract. Genesis Cabrera to a minor league deal. Jackson Reitz to a minor league deal. Joey Meneses, Rafael Ortega, Donovan Walton, all to minor league deals. Justin Hegerman to a 1-year deal. And Rico Garcia to a minor league contract, as well as Chris Davinsky to a minor league deal. In free agency, they non-tendered Alex Young. They outrighted DJ Stewart to the minors. He elected free agency. Same with Matt Gage. Same with Joey Lachucci. Adam Montevino became a free agent. I believe he was just cut from, I forgot which team he was trying out for. I believe it was the Red Sox. He got cut from them. Do not call him. Do not. I'm good. I don't need to see any more Adam Montevino in a Mets uniform.
No problem.
Jose Quintana became a free agent. He's now with Milwaukee.
Good for him.
JD Martinez became a free agent. I believe he's playing pickleball. Brooks Raley became a free agent. Jose Iglesias became a free agent as well. He's now in San Diego. They lost Luis Severino to the Athletics.
Oakland Athletics.
Yeah. And then also becoming a free agent was Harrison Bader. He signed with the Minnesota Twins, and Shintaro Fujinami as well. For club options, the club option was declined on Phil Maton. Player option was declined for Sean Manaea. Then he signed a 3-year deal. For trade, they traded away Eric Orsi to the Tampa Bay Rays in exchange for Jose Siri. And then they acquired Alexander Canario from the Cubs for cash. And then Sean Herney from the Rays for international bonus space money. So they made some moves in the offseason, which is going to end up having their lineup look like this. Francisco Lindor, Juan Soto, Pete Alonso, Brandon Nimmo, Mark Vientos, Jesse Winker, Jose Siri, Brett Beatty, Luis Torrens. Their bench, Hayden Sanger, the backup catcher, Luis Angel Acuna, Sterling Marte, and Tyrone Taylor. Their starting rotation, Clay Holmes, Tyler McGill, Griffin Canning, David Peterson, Kodai Senga. Kodai Senga and David Peterson are towards the back, not because they are the 4 and the 5 starters, it's because of rest reasons. They wanted to give Kodai Senga as much time to get fully ready as possible, which that'll turn into a 6-man rotation once Manaea comes back, and with Montas as well. Their bullpen could have the potential to be one of the best in baseball, because we all know David Stern's history with bullpens. Huascar Brazoban, Max Kranick, keep an eye out for him. He had an awesome spring. Danny Young, Ryan Stanek, Reed Garrett, Jose Buto, AJ Minter, and Edwin Diaz. On the IR right now is a lot. Francisco Alvarez will miss the first 6 weeks or so with a broken Heimlich bone in his hand. Nick Madrigal will miss the whole season. Ronnie Mauricio is recovering from an ACL tear from last year. He will be, I believe, still when he gets to when he's back to full baseball, he's going to stick with the Port St. Lucie Mets until he's done rehabbing. Then he'll go to AAA. I think he will play a role this year. And then Jeff McNeil will probably miss about a week or so to start the year. Paul Blackburn, still nursing the injury from last year, will start the year on the IR. So will Sean Manaea, so will Frankie Montas, and Christian Scott's recovering from Tommy John surgery. He will not be back during the season. Most likely, if he is, it'll be late in the season. Mets have 3 top 100 prospects. Number 46 overall, right-handed pitcher Brandon Sproat. I expect him to be up by May. I truly expect him to be a big-time contributor to this team. I think if another arm falls in the bullpen, if like McGill gets hurt or a Peterson or a Senga, don't be surprised if Sproat comes up, or Tidwell, or Jonah Tong. They have a few guys that I like. Jet Williams is the number 57 overall prospect in baseball, shortstop outfielder. Expect him up this year sometime as well. And then Carson Bench as well. He's due up in 2027. He's the 100th overall prospect, the first-round draft pick out of Oklahoma State. I want to see how his body developed because he's dropping the pitching. He was a two-way player at Oklahoma State. He's dropping the pitching, focusing on hitting, which I believe will allow him to build more muscle for hitting-wise. That won't affect his pitching because he's not pitching anymore. Looking at this New York Mets team, I mean, 90.5, I think that number's spot on. I think this is an 88 to 90 win baseball team that gets a wild card spot. And And I think this is a 90-72 team. They finished a couple games behind the Braves. They make a wild card spot, and we can see what they do from there. Yeah. And this is a rotation that I think is going to be league average. I know a lot of people are going to shit on it. I think it's going to be league average. I think this offense is going to be one of the best in baseball when you have Francisco Lindor on the top, and then Juan Soto, and then Pete Alonso. And we could talk about Pete Alonso for a potential future here. To lead the league in home runs or RBIs, I like them both, especially when you're going to have somebody hitting he's going to have someone hitting in front of him that's going to have an on-base percentage of at least 400.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it's even higher from that. I think my biggest worry in the lineup, obviously the bottom of the lineup, but I'm kind of a Brett Beatty believer.
Oh dear God, please no.
And I just think he hasn't had enough time to develop yet. Like that's just what I'm expecting.
How much longer do you think he needs?
I mean, he had way less minor league time than Mark Vientos has. Okay. Keep that in mind, because he's getting close to where Mark Vientos was last year.
Okay.
So give him time. I really like his skill set. We saw it's finally coming together for him. We saw that in the spring. For this team, it's going to be pretty simple for me. I'm going to do the bet I have. I'm going to make the same bets I have on them every single year, because if they do win the World Series, I don't have a ticket on it. I'm going to be pissed at myself. So yes, I'm going to be a homer on this team. I'm going to bet them to win the National League. I'm going to bet them to win the World Series. Sue me. I think if you want to look anywhere other than Shohei Ohtani for the MVP race, Juan Soto is a great look. And I like Pete Alonso to lead the league in home runs and RBIs, with Lindor, Soto, and potentially Vientos or Nimmo hitting in front of him. I think Alonso should be the 4-hitter. I'd actually lean under 90.5 wins. I think this is a 89-90 win team. I would lean under, but I think they still make the playoffs. I think they make a run in the playoffs like we saw last year. But for me, I'm going to be a homer on this one, and I'm just going to make my every year bet that I make regardless, and it's the Mets to win the World Series. And then that's it.
I did as well, but that's just a homer in me. It is what it is. I actually have a good reasoning behind one of my plays. I took Lindor to win MVP. What did he lack last year? What do you think he lacked last year that couldn't get him there? Oh, maybe Juan fucking Soto behind him. He's going to get pitches to hit every single at bat, because if you walk Lindor, all of a sudden Soto comes up, and that's not something that. Why do you think Aaron Judge had as good of a season as he did last year?
Juan Soto.
I think
Manny Machado hit so well in San Diego.
Juan Soto. Exactly. That's my point. Why do you think, who was it? Schwarber hit in front of him in Washington? Harper hit with him in Washington, right? Why do you think they were so good?
Juan Soto.
Well,
Harper's also
okay, Harper is really good, but that's not the point. I think Lindor has an MVP season because he's going to get pitches to hit. And
see, that's my angle with Alonso.
That's not a bad angle with Alonso, but I'm going to take it with Lindor. I will say I'm not as worried about the early injuries, because look at the schedule to start the year that we have. At Houston, we should win that series. At Miami, should sweep. Home against Toronto, not a difficult series. Home against Miami, not a difficult series. At Oakland, not really that difficult of a series. At Minnesota, I don't think they're that good. And then 4 at home versus
Minnesota. There that early in the season, they might actually
be healthy,
except for Royce Lewis is already dealing with an injury.
And then 4 against St. Louis. That's the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 series of the Mets.
So they have one of the easiest.
By the time we're done with St. Louis, Mania should be back, and so should Alvarez. Just in time to play Philly, Atlanta, Washington, Arizona. Yeah. That's when I would want them back. That's when they're going to be back and fresh and ready to go. I think they're going to be just fine with that. I think their offense is going to be really, really strong. I'm not a Beatty believer yet. I think Luis Angel Acuna is going to be better.
I disagree. I think defensively, yes. Offensively,
once he gets back, Ronnie Mercutio is going to play a big role in this team.
he definitely can as well.
I think he'll end up taking over like DH duties over Winker, like kind of deal.
Maybe.
Or he could slip into second base because right now it's McNeil, and I'm not a believer in McNeil anymore.
McNeil's hurt.
Yeah, McNeil. Yeah, that's what I was saying. McNeil's hurt. I think Acuna can get into second, or Beatty, but I would rather have Acuna.
Yeah.
I took this team to win the National League. I took this team to win the World Series because I'm a homer. I like the Lindor idea.
Yeah.
All right, ready to go to the chat and see 446 actually shitting on the Mets?
No duh.
Did I see Nixter pick the Mets Red Sox World Series?
Yes, you did.
What's up, Nicholas Handy? Drew Smith, how is he still on the team? He was injured last year.
He's injured, yeah. He's not on the roster right now.
So 446 doesn't like fun. Okay. The Mets will have 5 borough mascot race at the games at Citi Field. What are we doing? Clown show. So they want to. You're annoyed with them for having fun.
I swear, this makes me feel like Mr. Numbers is a boomer.
446. Why are you the way you are? I know you're a Yankee fan, so I guess it makes sense. But whatever. Victory. Earle Bros here to give us the leg up on the MLB season. I am ready for the MLB season. Prediction. Soto hits 220 month of April, 2 home runs, 17 RBIs. Fans start booing at him at the end of the month. I know you're salty that he left your Yankees. That shit's not going to happen. Prediction. Lindor hits 235 first half of the season.
Honestly, that's probably not too far off, actually. He's always somebody who starts a little slow, which is whatever, but he heats up towards the end of the season. 235, I mean, I think that Lindor's probably a 250 hitter overall. Like that's not.
I think he's going to hit 270. Like I think he's going to hit for average this year rather than power.
Yeah, I could see that.
I could easily see it. I could easily see Lindor going for the batting title though.
No.
Yeah,
he's never a batting title guy.
I think he could. If he goes less power and more as an leadoff hitter, I think he can. Hello, love you guys. What's up, Markel? Soto first at bat homer in on that ass. Dude, I would love to see that. Prediction, Vientos will have less than 20 homers and be benched.
I don't think he'll be benched. I could see regression in him though. Like I'm not somebody who's just automatically penciling in Vientos to be awesome.
No.
Like he's my biggest concern because his strikeout rate is high. And he is somebody where, he can be very streaky at times. And he had a really strong year last year. That would not surprise me to see him slow down a little bit. 20 home runs, I don't think he's going to hit that little because I think a slow year for him would be 20, 25. But, like, I'm not going to pencil him in for 50 or 40 or anything like that.
Alonso will hit 20 homers, 70 RBIs,
I will disagree with that wholeheartedly.
Alonso's playing to get out of New York.
Yeah. Alonso is playing in a contract year again.
Because when the Mets want to go after
protection, he finally is protected. So I think he does fine. Keep in mind he's also an over 900 career OPS guy.
Shake my head first month of April. Prediction: Senga gets hurt. Wow, that's
really bold. I have a feeling he might actually. Like Senga is one of those pitchers where if he's not 100%, he won't pitch. Like that, he's one of those type of pitchers. But when he's 100% on, he's great. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets hurt at some time this year. He has been a little bit of an injury-prone pitcher, and he's only thrown more than 130 innings twice in his professional career. The last time was in 2023, and he did a couple years before he came over from KBO. Or was it KBO? I believe it was KBO. That's why he got such a small contract, 5 for 75, is because he wasn't there consistently.
Holmes fades in the first half of the season. Fades half into the season. He goes to the bullpen.
Wouldn't shock me. Once again, his career high in innings pitched is 70. So what? We think he can pitch 130 this year? Like I don't think that's too far fetched. And he's the type of pitcher that actually could throw that many innings because of his pitch mix and his ability to get ground balls.
Nick is a gross homer. No chance they beat the Dodgers with those starters. Who says that those are going to be the starters when it comes to playoffs?
Yeah.
Would you be surprised if at trade deadline
They go out and get an ace? No.
Ring, ring. Marlins, what do you want
Nope.
for Sandy Alcantara?
I guarantee they won't.
Ring,
trade.
ring. Padres, what do you want for Michael King?
That's a little bit more realistic.
Like, honestly, you can go look at that. Who else could be?
Here's the thing: is David Stearns is not somebody who'll trade a lot of assets for a starting.
Michael
pitcher.
King, he could. Or go up to.
See, I think all this rotation needs to be is league average with that
I'm
offense.
trying to see who would trade pitchers. San Diego would probably be. Giants, what do you want for Logan Webb?
They're not going to trade Logan Webb.
I don't know. St. Louis doesn't really have much.
St. Louis, unless you want Steven Matz. It's not
Seattle, who can we take off of you?
They're not. They're not.
Honestly, Seattle, who can we take off of you?
They're not going to.
Brandon Wu?
Brian Wu?
Brian Wu?
No.
Something like that? Toronto, what do you want for Berrios?
They're going to be in the playoff contention, so no.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. Lindor MVP, did hear this? You should be banned for life. Dumbest prediction ever. Ohtani is in the league.
Can I say something though? Can I make an argument on an anti-Ohtani wins the MVP? I think trying to do both again will severely hurt him.
Ready for this?
Because he's got more off days, and I think it's going to increase his chance of an injury as well.
I will say, Shohei Ohtani will pitch 0 innings this year.
Really?
And it's because they won't need him to.
That's fair.
If you're the LA Dodgers, why? What's the purpose in having Ohtani pitch? Yes, he's a great pitcher. Y'all have like 9 starting pitchers on your roster.
Yeah.
There is no
Clayton
reason.
Kershaw's the 6th starter.
There is no reason for Ohtani to pitch this year. If I'm the Dodgers, have him just DH for 1 more year. And if he really wants to pitch again, next year.
Yeah.
Like have him pitch in 2026. Don't rush him back, because all of a sudden, what happens if he's not fully ready? And he pitch up, he tears his he needs another Tommy John or something. Because if you already have a history of injury like Ohtani does, there is 0 reason for him to do it. So the only way that Ohtani gets the MVP again, in my opinion, is if he does better than he did last year. Because look, Joker's having these crazy ass numbers right now. He's not even considered.
Yeah.
Joker's averaging triple-double. He's not even getting considered for MVP.
Could be voter fatigue, but I mean,
Ohtani can go for 40 homers and 110 RBIs. That might not be enough. That might not be enough because he DHs.
Because he DHs.
And he's already, I don't know. Like, Ohtani may not be, I know he's plus 150 to win the MVP. Ohtani's this crazy odds to win MVP.
Yeah, that was one of my bold predictions that I put in my Twitter post.
Plus
today.
150. Juan Soto is plus 550. Fernando Tatis is 800.
Yeah, that was part of my bold predictions post on Twitter, that a Dodger does not win MVP, Rookie of the Year, or Cy Young.
I agree.
Because I think Matt Shaw wins the Rookie of the Year.
I will talk about my Rookie of the Year in a minute.
Okay. Go for it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's next.
But let's keep going through the chat. It's already 11 o'clock, and we still have other stuff to do. I can't listen to these homers. Gross. Are you glad you asked me to come in? I just told you that we're alive. I figured you would want to talk shit. Can't wait until Happy Shamanai Day. Me too, because I don't know about you. I made a lot of money backing him.
He was very profitable last year.
Very profitable. So I don't know why you would be so excited for it, because I know you don't bet on him. Mets going far this year. I want a future on them. What is it for them to make the playoffs?
Too expensive.
Too expensive. You're going to have to... Yeah. Prediction, Mets flop 3rd place in the division and do not make playoffs. All right.
Shocker.
All right. Who's your 6 playoff teams? Give me your NL playoffs. I want to see. Give me your NL playoffs right now, 446. 1-0 Stars, 1-0 Ducks. Great call. Next 2 winners.
Those games ended? Because then Stars would be a push.
Woo! I don't think they risk pitching Ohtani either. Tim making some sense sometimes. I don't think they risk pitching Ohtani. Giants going to be trash. I could easily see them trying to pitch.
Average.
I will not do that for you. I can't wait to watch Soto run into Citi Field outfield. LOL, so funny.
I mean, he was the same outfielder that played outfield for you guys last year. Yeah. What's your point?
All right, Nick. Here's my dark horse.
And I'm calling bullshit on it. Let's go into it. The Washington Nationals, they are 350 to 1 to win the World Series. They're 90 to 1 to win the National League. They are 100 to 1 to win the division. They are plus 775 to make the playoffs. They're minus 1900 to miss the playoffs. Their win total is 71.5. Let's take a look at their offseason moves. Let me switch over here on Fangraphs for their offseason moves, and then their their roster here. Looking at what they did in the offseason, not too much. They acquired Lucas Sims on a 1-year deal, Paul DeJong on a 1-year deal, who could be a nice little flip at the deadline. They got Shinizuki Ogasawara. They got Andrew Kitzner. They got signed Jorge Lopez to a 1-year deal, Ahmed Rosario to a 1-year deal. They re-signed Trevor Williams to a 2-year deal, Josh Bell to a 1-year deal, Mike Soroka to a 1-year deal. A lot of good flip opportunities here for at the deadline for them. For free agency, Joe Lasorda cleared waivers and was released. They non-tendered Tanner Rainey. Vargas was outrighted to the minor leagues at the free agency. Same with Michael Rucker. Same with Joey Meneses. They lost Jacob Barnes to free agency. Trevor Williams, who they re-signed, and the GOAT, Patrick Corbin, is no longer with the team. He is with Texas now, which I have a feeling he throws more innings for the Rangers than the Rangers would hope this year. But he's I think the one guy on the Rangers that I think you can reliably say he can throw 180 innings this year.
Yeah.
As for club options, Joey Gallo's mutual option was declined by the team. As for trades, they acquired Nathaniel Lowe from the Texas Rangers for Robert Garcia. Let's take a look at the lineup for this Washington Nationals team, which could be fun. C.J. Abrams, Dylan Cruz, Josh Bell, Luis Garcia Jr., Nathaniel Lowe, Paul DeJong, Keibert Ruiz, Jacob Young. Their bench, Riley Adams, Jose Tena, Alex Call, and Ahmed Rosario. Their rotation is where things get iffy. Mackenzie Gore.
I think it's going to be very solid.
Trevor Williams, Jake Irving, Mitchell Parker, Michael Soroka.
I don't think that's that bad.
Their bullpen. Brad Lord, Orlando Rebalta, Colin Pache, Eduardo Salazar, Lucas Sims, Jose A. Ferreira, Jorge Lopez, Kyle Finnegan. I'm not high on this bullpen whatsoever. I think it's pretty bad, actually, when you look at it. As for injuries, Kate Cavalli will start the year on the IL, on the 15-day IL. Josiah Gray and DJ Hers are also on the IL. Long-term IL heading into the year. The Washington Nationals have 3 players in the top 100 for prospects, including number 4 overall, Dylan Cruz, who's going to be up day 1 with this team. Yep. He played last year with them. Travis Segura is somebody to keep an eye out for in 2027. He is a right-handed pitcher, number 69 overall. Nice 6'6", 232 right-handed pitcher. Segura. I believe he has a fastball that's touched 100. He's kind of nasty. And Harlan Susana as well as somebody to keep an eye out for, 6'6", 235 righty, who's starting the year in high A, expected up in 2026. So here's the thing with the Nationals. They're fun. I don't think fun means good. I think fun meaning this team is tolerable to watch and there's some hope. I think the biggest problem with this team is, yes, they have the ability to boom this team.
They do.
And for me, boom is 80 wins. That's it. Here's the thing, though, is my main concern with the Washington Nationals, other than their pitching, I think the pitching is going to be bad. I think it's going to be a bottom 5 rotation, a bottom 5 bullpen in baseball, which means there's a lot of 8-7, 9-8 type of games in the Nationals' futures because C.J. Abrams, we've seen him have really good stretches. We've seen him look really bad. Dylan Cruz, he's a rookie. What do you expect? Do you want to rely on rookies? I know James Wood was the number 1 prospect in baseball, but I think he's going to need some time to develop. I think he could be very good, though. Josh Bell is somebody I see them flipping at the deadline. Nathaniel Lowe is somebody I think they can flip at the deadline potentially. Paul DeYoung is the same way. I mean, I don't understand the love for the Nationals that I've seen a lot of people give them.
I have not seen love on the Nationals.
Oh, I've seen a lot of people love that over for them. I'm on that. I'm going to be on the under 71.5. I think this pitching staff is going to be the reason why they struggle. I think they are relying way too much on youth on this team. It's going to be a fun team. They'll have nice stretches at times. When they're hot, that's when you can back them. But there's going to be stretches where they lose 12 out of 14 games, 15 out of 18, something along those lines. But there's also going to be times where they win 7 out of 8, and they look good. I think this Nationals team tops out at 80 wins. I think the more likely is they finish anywhere between 66 and 70 wins. I think this is a team that is about where they were last year, if not slightly worse. I think they rely too much on youth. I think their pitching sucks, and this is going to be a team that really struggles more than people think they will. So, yes, I will be on the under here for the Nationals. I think they struggle.
I'm going to be on the exact opposite side. Give me – oh, wow, I realized that I messed something up in my thing because Cruz is not going to win the Cy Young. He's going to win Rookie of the Year. I don't know why I put that in my thing. I got the over 70.5 wins. So it's gone from 70.5 to 71.5. I also got them to make the playoffs at plus 750. I think they are the team that takes the Phillies spot. Call me crazy. I really like this hitting core. I think Ruiz will be solid enough. I really like the addition of Nathaniel Lowe. I think a change of scenery is going to be great for him. I think Luis Garcia is going to be solid. I think Paul DeYoung is going to be a good veteran in that lineup. I think C.J. Abrams, as long as you keep him away from the casino, is going to be great. I love James Wood. I think he's going to have a 35-35 season, minimum. 35 homers, 35 stolen bases. Jacob Young, we'll see what we get from him. Dylan Cruz is going to win the Rookie of the Year. I think you're going to get 30 bombs out of him. I think you're going to get a really good year out of Dylan Cruz. I think he's going to run away with the Rookie of the Year. And when it comes to it, I think Josh Bell is going to be another solid veteran in that lineup that I really like. The rotation, I kind of think is underrated. Mackenzie Gore is going to have a very solid year. I think he's going to be one of those guys that people are going to overlook. Last year, 2.76 ERA, a 1.35 whip. Granted, I don't think he pitched. He was out of bullpen last year. No, sorry. He started 32 games. 32 games with a 3.9 ERA, 1.42 whip. I think he's pretty solid. He was good last year. And I think you're going to get a good year out of him. Trevor Williams had a really good start to the year until he got hurt. I think Jake Irvin with another year under his belt will be solid. I think Mitchell Parker has some big upside. And I think Michael Soroka getting out of Atlanta. Actually, I think Michael Soroka was with the White Sox last year.
Yep.
I think him getting out of A, Atlanta, and B, Chicago, and back into that starting role, you could easily see 2019 Michael Soroka come back, where he went 29 starts and had a 5.7 WAR, 2.68 ERA. I think you can get a season similar to that if he stays healthy the entire year. I'm gonna ride with this Washington team. They're gonna be a team that's gonna be dogs a lot, and I'm gonna make some money on them. I got them over their win total. I got them to make the playoffs, and I got Dylan Cruz to win the Rookie of the Year.
They're gonna be a team I'm gonna look forward to betting team total overs against.
There you go. Nationals, yes. Divisions: Braves, Dodgers, Cubs with the wild cards, Phillies, Snakes, and Padres. Braves win the division, yes. Dodgers win the division, yes. Cubs win the division, yes. I like the Snakes. I don't like the Padres. What do you see in the Padres? I'm curious with that one. What do you see in the Padres that you think they're better than the Mets? I'm curious on that one.
He just thinks the Mets suck. So that's a stupid question.
I love when the Mets' expectation is
this
high.
Is what terrifies me is that the Mets have expectations this year.
It makes the season so fun when they tank and their fans go crazy. I would take the Nats pitching over the Mets.
Absolutely not.
No, I think you're stupid. Laughing. No, he's just laughing at you. He thinks you're an idiot. Did you try poached egg yet? Okay, no. Suns down 20. I didn't bet the Suns. I didn't touch the Suns again. Awful. Nuggets went over. Yeah, I noticed that. Good lineup, Padres.
Not better than the Mets.
No, I'm pulling it up real quick. Hold on. Elias Diaz, Luis Arise, Jake Cronenworth. Okay, Jake Cronenworth is solid.
No, Jake Cronenworth has not been very good. Luis Arise is the most overrated player in baseball.
Manny Machado.
He's fine. He's good. But, I mean, I would take Alonso over him. I'd take Soto over him. I'd take Lindor over him. I'd take probably Nimmo over him as well at this point.
Xander Bogaerts is probably one of the worst contracts in the Padres.
That's a terrible contract.
Jason Hayward, who is still playing.
I don't know how he's still playing baseball.
Morel. Tatis is going to get traded by the deadline. There you go. There's one of my bold takes. Tatis doesn't make it.
See, it wouldn't surprise me if they can get a really good haul of prospects that would be major league ready in the next year.
You got to keep in mind, the Padres are going to be a team because of TV deals, because of the new owner. They're going to try to cut contracts. Why do you think they made very little free agent signings? It's not because they have a good team already, because they barely snuck into the playoffs last year.
No, they were really good. They were the top wild card team. They gave the Dodgers a run for the run for the division last year.
No. I take the Padres top 4 over the Mets in a heartbeat. See, this is why I can't talk to people like this.
No, because the Mets can have 4 prime Hall of Famers, like hypothetically speaking, and you would still take some slapdick team over them. Like it's like talking to a wall.
Homers can't talk now.
Haters can't talk to them.
Soto has the worst contract in sports history. He could thank Judge for that.
Last time I knew, Soto won a World Series without any big name players in the lineup. They traded away Harper, and he won the World Series with the Nationals next year.
4 Hall of Famers. He was being
hypothetical.
He was being theoretical.
Like I was just saying, the Mets can have the greatest players of all time. You'll still take a slapdick team.
I'm waiting just to hear 446 saying the Marlins are going to be better than the Mets.
Oh, good God, the Miami Marlins. 500 to 1 to win the World Series. 150 to 1 to win the National League. I don't even know why I felt the need to say those, because that's never, ever going to happen. Same with the NL East at 250 to 1. To make the playoffs, 18 to 1. To miss the playoffs, minus 6,000. Their win total is 63.5. This might be the worst team in the National League. I think they.
But there's no value in fading them every day.
No, we're not fading them every day here. And one thing you got to look at is, I mean, they got an elite starting pitcher in their rotation now from the offseason, because they put all of their eggs in the Cal Quantrill basket. That was their big acquisition. Their only major league contract other than Eric Wagaman was Cal Quantrill. Other than that, I mean, Jansen Junk, Rob Brantley, Albert Amora Jr., Freddie Tarnock, Robinson Pena, John Rooney, Heliberto Hernandez, Ronnie Simon. Like, where is this team? Like, they released Mike Ballman. They outrighted Adam Aller and Derek McLaughlin. As for trades, they made a lot of trades in the offseason. They acquired Tyler Phillips from the Phillies for cash.
Can we not do this cash thing again?
Okay.
It wasn't funny the first time.
They traded Vidal Brujan to the Cubs for Matt Murmas. They traded Jesus Luzardo and Paul McIntosh for Starling Caba and Amaro Boyd. They traded away Jake Berger for Max Costa, Brian Mendoza, and Echendry Vargas. And that's really all they did this offseason. Taking a look at what this lineup is going to be. Xavier Edwards, Derek Hill, Matt Murmas, Jonah Bride, Kyle Stowers, Otto Lopez, Griffin Conine, Nick Fortes, Graham Pauley. Their bench is Liam Hicks, Javier Sonoja, Eric Wagaman, Dane Myers. Their starting rotation, Sandy Alcantara, Connor Gillespie, Valente Bellozo, Max Meyer, and Cal Quantrill. Woof. I thought that rotation was actually going to be halfway nice. The only problem with that is we'll talk about who they have on the IR. Their bullpen, Tyler Phillips, Ronnie Henriquez, Greg Soriano, Anthony Venezano, Lake Basher, Anthony Bender, Jesus Tinoco, Calvin Faucher. Yikes. The back end of the bullpen could be okay. Starting on the injured list, Connor Norby, Victor Mesa Jr., Jesus Sanchez. Their rotation arms that they're missing, Edward Cabrera, Braxton Garrett, Yuri Perez, Ryan Weathers. Ryan Weathers started showing promise, and then he gets hurt. And then also Andrew Nardi is on the IL as well. This might be the worst team in the National League. I'm actually not might be. This is the worst team in the National League. I think this is the worst team in baseball. Here's my bold
White
take.
Sox will still be worse.
I think the White Sox will finish with more wins than the Miami Marlins.
I think that is definitely a bold take.
And I think the Marlins will finish the year as the worst team in baseball because if Sandy Alcantara looks halfway okay, they'll trade him. If anybody looks halfway okay, they'll trade him. It's going to be a brutal year for Marlins fans. No, we're not fading them every day like we did last year because they're not coming off of a undeserving playoff run because they were one of the luckiest teams in 2023, which is why we faded them in 2024. This team is still going to suck. They're still going to lose 100 games. It's under or no bet for them, for me. It's the only thing I can look at.
I'll be honest, I want nothing to do with this team. I wanted to take the bold take that their all-star would be Connor Norby, but he's starting on the DL or on the IL. I will be quick and simple with this one. This is a team that's going to be the worst team in the National League. There is no future I want with them because I'm not taking under 63.5 wins. Will it probably happen? Yes. I'm not going to buy into it. This is just a team that they're going to sell everything that they can.
Yes.
Cal Quantrill won't be there. Sandy Alcantara, well, I'm going to set a line over under 3.5 starts with the Marlins this year.
Over. I think he gets 5 to 6.
See, I could see him getting 2. Everybody's saying, all right, he's healthy, and then them trading him as quickly as possible.
Wouldn't shock me.
Because honestly, if you're the Marlins, if you see 2 solid starts, say he pitches 14 innings, allows 2 earned runs on 8 hits, and he shows that he's back to his solid form, why else? Why hold on to him? Honestly, and you could probably get a lot more of a haul if you trade Sandy Alcantara before the end of April. I think he could realistically be on a different team before the beginning of May. Not crazy?
Yeah. All right. I think I found the bet for the Miami Marlins.
Okay.
And it was funny because I was literally looking it up on my DraftKings app at the same time that Mr. Numbers just put in the chat. They're 5-1 to have the worst record in baseball. I'll take that. Thank you. Thank you for looking that up for me, Mr. Numbers. I'm going to have the Marlins to have the worst record in baseball at 5-1.
I like it. Stop the fish fade. F the fish. Is Sandy Alcantara still on the fish?
For now.
Yes. For now. Take the Suns plus 16.5. Celtics pull back. Every home team makes a run. I'm not touching that game. Stop. Gio, what's up? No, Markel. They traded Alcantara to the Mets. Where have you been? He has not been traded to the Mets yet. Oakland Athletics team total over. Yes. Oakland Athletics to make the playoffs. Everyone loves the A's. My God, I got to go under now.
I'm not in love with the A's. I mean, I did bet their over-win total because I do think they'll be good this year. And I sprinkled the division prop because 30-1 I think was outrageous, especially with the division that wide open. But I'm still worried about their pitching staff. That's one thing I am worried about is their pitching. Yeah.
See, Nick. See, you copy Nick for.
See, I was looking it up as he typed it in. Like that was something I was actually looking up just to see what the odds were on it.
There you go. But anyways, that is everything for today. We'll be back tomorrow for opening day. Boy, am I excited. All my futures are posted on the Twitter for the National League East. I'm excited for opening day tomorrow. Sure, brain. You have like 2 brain cells. Shut the fuck up. But that's going to do it for this future show. We finally made it through all 6 of them. Opening day tomorrow. Let's get it. We'll see you guys then.